Hey everyone, Ryan here with Von Scheller Family Experience, and today we're talking drone safety. That's right, we're talking drone safety. What it takes to fly one of these safely and get it back safely and have a nice, good flight. So we're gonna go through all of the items that we use every time we go out for a flight. Now, some of these items you may agree with, you may not agree with, and some of them are necessary and some of them might not be necessary, but this is kind of our policy and procedures for a safe flight. And of course, all of these items are in the description below. So if you are interested in purchasing them, click on the links below. You can find them on Amazon and get them to your door. So let's get into it. We're gonna talk about the pilot in command first. The pilot in command, we like to wear a nice safety vest. So these safety vests are really nice. They're nice and cool. That way, if you have law enforcement, a property owner, or concerned citizen that wants to find out who the drone pilot is of that annoying drone flying around that's driving them crazy, they can find you and come have a little chat with you. The other reason is sometimes on construction zones or other sites, it's required along with a hard hat. Our hard hat is actually down in our warehouse. I don't have it with me right now, but safety vest and a hard hat could be required in a lot of flight areas. The other thing is sunglasses. Keep those with you at all times during your flight. I fly with them sometimes I don't. Good communication with your safety spotter. We use the Eartec headsets. They work really nice. We actually have 4 of them in our inventory. That keeps open communication with my safety spotter. There's no having to hit a button or anything like a radio. It's just nice, clean, open communication. Your safety spotter can also wear one of the vests. That way, he or she can be spotted by, again, law enforcement, concerned citizen, property owner, and then they can handle that communication with that person while you're returning the drone safely to the landing pad. They can kind of be your liaison there to chat with them to discuss any questions or concerns. Also, binoculars are great to have for your safety spotter to assist in the observation of the drone. Your safety spotter, of course, will also have good communication with you with the Eartec headsets. Now we're going to actually talk about the actual launch site and what we do for the launch site area. You'll see behind me we have a launch pad. The launch pad is great for designating that area where you're going to land and take off the drone. It also protects the drone from sand and gravel debris getting knocked up into the propellers. You don't want to nick those or damage those, so it really can protect those, or sand getting inside the motors. So launch pad, I would say that is a necessity. We also go a little bit further with our launch pad area. We carry 4 of these collapsible cones. They're really nice. They just kind of pop out like that. That way, if you are in an area where there's people walking or traffic, you're in a driveway, you don't want someone just all of a sudden driving over your launch pad or walking over your launch pad. It designates that area and hopefully keeps it clear for a safe return and a safe flight. We also carry a fire extinguisher with us. We're in Northern California, high fire danger. Anything can spark a fire. So maybe your drone crashes or a lithium battery catches on fire. Those are all things that can spark a fire around here, and we don't want to be responsible for that. So we do carry a fire extinguisher with us. Very important for around our area. And lastly, for your flight area, just make sure it's clear. Make sure there's no towers, trees, power lines, vehicles, any other obstacles in your area that could cause your drone to crash or you to fly into or anything like that. So your flight path or your flight area or your flight zone, let's talk about that. You always want to get that cleared of any advisories. So you want to check before you fly. Airmap, Kittyhawk, any of those apps are really good for checking for any advisories and make sure it's clear. Check with your airport. If you're within 5 miles of an airport, you want to make sure you're cleared for that area as well. We like to use Google Maps before we fly a location. So as soon as I book a flight, I'll get on Google Maps, I'll look at Street View, I'll look at Satellite View, see what's all in the area for buildings, towers, power lines, anything like that that I feel could be an area of concern during my flight. Also, always check your weather before your day of flight. So a lot of those apps like Kittyhawk, they will give you the weather report for a certain day. I use a number of different weather apps to check weather forecasts, wind speeds, and all of that. So make sure you do check your weather. Let's talk about safety of your batteries. Your batteries are very important. They're very expensive. So maintaining those batteries is extremely important of you and part of the safety policies and procedures. So you always want to make sure and charge them before your flight and discharge them after your flight. Keeping them around 15% for storage is usually a good area to keep them in. You also want to make sure you store them in a safe location, like a lithium lipo fire safe bag or a metal can. Anything that keeps it contained is good and safe. Always inspect your batteries before flight. Make sure they're not swelling, there's no cracks or any damage to them. Also, after your flight, your batteries are very hot, so you want to make sure you don't charge them right away. Wait till that battery cools down to either the room temperature, or if it's hot out, just try to put them in a cool area so that they can cool down. Now let's get into the pre-flight. So I've got a pre-flight list. You can find these a lot of times in your flight log manuals. There's different ones online. So this is just our pre-flight list that we go through. So of course you're going to inspect your aircraft. You're going to go through, make sure everything is moving freely, your propellers are moving freely, your props aren't chipped up or damaged, and just have an overall look over of the drone. Next, you're gonna pull your controller out and of course inspect your controller, attach your antennas, and then attach your display device with your sun hood. Inspect everything, make sure there's no damage, and also make sure that everything is charged up. Make sure your batteries for your drone are charged, make sure your iPad or display is charged, and of course your controller is charged. Once your controller is on and your display is on, you wanna check your brightness. Also check for all your firmware updates. Make sure all your updates have been done. And you want to make sure all 3 updates are done. Your display, your controller, and your drone. Next, you want to make sure you remove your gimbal lock and any other items that are made for securing the drone for travel and not made for flight. So make sure you have those items removed. Clean the lens, attach any filters to it, and get your gimbal all set and ready. Make sure your controller's on before you turn your drone on. That's very, very important. Sometimes people turn their drone on and they've had, situations where the drone has just taken off without them. So make sure you always have your controller on before your drone is on. Once everything is on, you want to calibrate your compass and check and make sure that all your GPS satellites are connected. Your DJI drone, and I'm not familiar with a lot of the other drones, but it'll say GPS connected and ready to go. So that's going to be your best flight mode. ADI mode, it's a little difficult. It might be good to practice in ADI mode once in a while, but it is not the preferred mode to fly in. You want to also set your maximum height. Of course, in the US, it's 400 feet for your maximum height. So make sure all those settings are done, especially after you do firmware updates. Sometimes after you do firmware updates, a lot of your settings can get changed. So you always want to make sure you check those settings after you do some updates. You want to also make sure you get into your video and photo settings. Make sure they're in the format that you want them in. So your photo size and format, RAW, JPEG, etc., and your video format. If you're shooting 30 frames per second, 1080p or 4K, just make sure those settings are all correct. You want to get all this done before your flight, so you're not using your battery time in flight to be checking all of these items. Once you've gone over your pre-flight and you're ready to take off, and you're using a safety spotter, make sure you do check your communication with he or she. Check your communication with them, check your surrounding areas, check your takeoff and clear for takeoff, and get up in the air and have a safe flight. So I hope this was all helpful information for you. We're gonna have a list of all these items below in the description, my checklist of all of these things, and of course, a list of the items that you can get on Amazon. If there's something that I missed, let me know in the comments. Put it down there, say, hey, you missed this, this is another good thing. Let's all work together as pilots and come up with better safety measures for all of us. Thank you very much for watching, and go out and enjoy a flight.